but it wouldn't be nothing, nothing without a woman or a girl. You see, man made the cars to take us over the road. Man made the train to carry the heavy load.
Well, it first initiated in church, of course. Karl came to the church with his lovely family, and we communicated very well together. We kind of gelled, and Karl told me his interests, as I told him my interests, and it worked out great. So he invited me on a fishing trip, and from there it just skyrocketed. The guy is good at what he do, and the things that he said that he liked to do was demonstrated. One thing I admire about Karl is that he's true to his word. When he says he has done something, and he has done it to perfect it, let's put it that way. Far more than anything else, his love for those that are in need, those that need help, he's always there to lend a helping hand, and to know that that his heart is always on helping, that he's always following God's gift that he's given him. And his gift is to give. So he's constantly doing what God has called him to do.
Aloha. Oh wait, we're going to a different island. I believe it was 1998. And there was a place in Montclair called Junior's Magic Shop. I had just been getting into magic, I think maybe a year and a half, and they had a competition, a close-up magic competition, and I signed up for it. And Karl Washington also signed up for it. So that was my first time meeting Karl. And we both did the competition, and of course I got first place, he got second, but after that, we just became really good friends, talked magic. He was a lot more knowledgeable about magic than me, so he was very interesting and intriguing to me. Just his whole demeanor and love for magic felt the same as mine, and we just started a really good friendship. And we always talked about magic, and you know, he showed me really cool things, like the ring and string trick.
What made this trip special was that we had gone to fishing at Santa Ana Lake, and Karl made a phone call like he normally do because we wasn't catching fish, and he says, "I know the owner." I says, "Well, if you know the owner, ask the owner to put us on the fish." And he did just that. He made the phone call, they dropped us where we're supposed to be, told us where we needed to go to. We got there and we caught fish. But in the midst of catching fish, what made this so memorable is that we were catching them so rapidly that as I was bringing a fish in, it wasn't large enough, so we were going to put him back in the water, and I threw my cell phone in the water opposed to throwing the fish in the water. Which I did. I got my phone is in Santa Ana Lake now, really.
I would say from what I remember, we first met at the magic shop in Long Beach, Presto Magic. So that was a long time ago, but yeah, I believe he was in the magic shop and I walked in, and then we started talking magic, hit it off, kind of stayed friends ever since, so that's 30 plus years.
So Karl he always had something, interesting to say about magic. Well, you should perform, probably because of his mentors and his influences. And, a goal of mine was to perform at the Magic Castle one day, and we'd always talk about magic and things like that. And he would tell me it's really important for you to start your show strong and also end your show strong. He always told me that, and something I always remembered. So whenever in fact, I even remember, speaking of that, the competition that we were talking about, it's been 24 years-ish, and I still remember what he started with. And I still remember what he ended with, because he followed his own formula there. He started with a trick called knots off silk, which I had never seen. It's pretty cool, where you tie the silk in a knot and you pull the knot off, and at the end there's a hole in the silk. I don't remember what he did in the middle, but then he ended with a floating ball that was lit up, and it was flying all around and floating up and down. And he was doing it to music, and it was really nice, So, he deserved second place.
I think we shared an interest, and then we started looking at some of the rings, as far as the magic rings they had, and those went to some conventions, different shops, shared our magic tricks with each other, gave him a lot of books. He still has, which is fine, because I'm not a reader. We just hit it off from there, and we had magic intertwined between us, and then shared a bunch of other interests as far as fishing and shooting, and it's been a good relationship.
Well, I recently just lost my my ex-wife, and I got some comforting words from Karl, and one thing that was said was, "Do you trust your children's with their grandparents?" And I said, "Yeah, I do." He said, "Well, do you trust your kids with me?" I said, "I do." And he says, "Then why don't you trust your ex-wife with God? Don't worry about it. She's in good hands."
So there was a big collaborative magic experience we had together. I got a call from a very big casino that needed magic for 5 days a week, and at the time I couldn't do 5 days a week, so I thought, hey, let me bring in some friends of mine and we'll all have a party, right? And it was a great experience, very lucrative for all of us, but it didn't work out the way it was supposed to. It went sour, but Karl and I remained friends. Everybody had their little bit of differences of how they felt things should go, and it's a life lesson, a lesson learned. But even through some adversity came something good, because him and I are still friends, and it worked out. It didn't matter how the situation went. We're still good friends.
Hi, my name is Patrick Henry Johnson. I'm an artist here in Los Angeles, California, and I am a lifelong friend of Karl T. Washington. What's up, Karl? Come on, man. Come on, man. What are you talking about? Okay, so this is the thing that was, I would say, paramount to me about Karl as an artist. He was technically sound he knew more about the different styles of art than I did. He was really good at landscapes, airbrush. He was really good. My work was much more imaginative, and what he did was bring me to a higher level of awareness about different styles. There are a myriad of different instances where the essence of him affected me. The thing that I discovered about Karl is his unwavering foundational essence. He would not move from his foundation. We had so much fun, we laughed so much, and people were asking, the price of my work. I had no idea. I didn't have a concept about how to price art. It wasn't important for me at that moment to sell those paintings. What was important for me that night was to have fun with Karl, my other friend Brian Smith at the time, and Curtis Moore. And to be in this exclusive, luxurious hotel in this lobby, and to just share that moment with Karl, that was preeminent for me. As a matter of fact, my daughter still has the VHS. No, see how old that is. The VHS recording of that night. I had on a polka dot black tie. I had on a gray suit with a white shirt, patent leather shoes. I had a part in my hair. My hair was, as they call it, fried, dyed, and laid to the side. All that. Karl had on an aqua blue turtleneck and a black jacket, which I told him not to wear because it was too hot. I was like, man, you can't wear that shit. But he wore it anyway. We had so much fun that night, just drinking. Like I said, he didn't drink much, but that was me. Drinking and laughing and just telling jokes, and it was just so much fun. And as I look back on those moments, me being the artist that I am now, it's phenomenal that who I've become and who Karl has become to me and me to him after all these years. It's really amazing how fast things move. I thought that things would happen, overnight, but they don't. They don't. And, life can only be viewed backwards. So now I can see retrospectively how what Karl meant to me and what I meant to him, and how we still mean those things to each other.
We went to the Magic Castle with your mom and Lisa, and came out, and we never heard of a place called Roscoe's. And your dad and mom said, oh, we got to go to Roscoe's. And went down the street, and it was on Gower Street in Hollywood. And I drove by it the first time, and we looked at this thing and thought it was a dive bar. And thought, what the hell are we getting into? And walked in there, and we were the only two white people in the place. I had no idea on the menu, chicken and waffles. So it was hilarious, and we had a good time. And it was an experience that I'll never forget.
So when he abandoned his craft as an artist, I would endeavor to encourage him to go back to, painting. I'm like, why the fuck would you stop painting when you were so good as a painter? But then he moved into And I don't know how he did this shit, but he moved into being a magician. And so he would show me these tricks and he would go on and on and on and on. He was just as excited or even more excited about being a magician than he was as being an artist.
You know, over the years, I started to notice this strange habit that Karl picked up.
I always did sleight of hand magic with cards and coins and things like that, ropes, rings, strings, rubber bands. And then one day it just took a weird twist and like kind of demonic even. You know, he told me he wanted to sacrifice one of his doves to make his magic more stronger. And I was like, whoa, that's really weird.
He is, I'm just saying this, Karl is a beautiful soul. And I'm saying this because it's true. He's just a beautiful soul. And I learned how to be objective. And I learned how to be a better friend because of my relationship with him. I would say keep painting. But more than anything, just keep being who you are and who you've always been. You are a beautiful soul, man. And there was sometimes when I did that mural in the dining room. I did that mural in the dining room. Your dad asked me to come out and do that. And at that time, I had absolutely no money. So he actually paid for me to come out there and then paid for the mural to be done. I think it was like maybe $300 or $400 or something like that. But and I think we stayed, me and the boys, we stayed the whole weekend. And the money was, I mean, I needed it at that moment. But just being there was comforting, and I could relax from the hustle and the bustle of what my life was at that moment. And it was a pleasure to paint that mural for him and your mom, and to be there with you guys. And to also show him how much I had grown as an artist, because we were at like the same level for a while, and we had this thing that we used to say, When I would finish a painting, I would take the trophy because my painting was the best painting. And then when he would finish a painting, he would say, "Oh, I got that trophy back." And we were doing that back and forth because we were at the same level. But then when he stopped painting and I just got better and better and better, I was in a space that he had not been in before. So as I was saying, he was living vicariously through me as an artist. But on the flip side, I was living vicariously through him as a mature adult, because I had not ascended to that level.
I'm a poor man in the world, but I'm a rich man in the Lord. So I want you to take these 2 5s, that's all you get for your birthday. And I want you to multiply it, because you're a musician. Make it work. Happy birthday.
I would say it's a honor, pleasure knowing you. Happy birthday. It's been a great 30 plus years, and we'll go another great 30 plus years.
It takes you back to being like a little kid again, and that's, I mean, I don't know what else in the world does that for you, but to be with your friend and feel like a little kid again, it's just amazing to have that experience with someone and have that passion and love for something that someone else shares with you. That's really the best part, to be able to hang out with someone that shares that same kind of passion as you. And it just makes it that much more fun and enjoyable, you know. More gigs together in the future. You know, we always talked about doing a duo thing together, you know. I think we called it Oreo cookie, you know. Something like that. I'm the creamy middle and he's the Oreo cookie. I don't remember, some joke we had about like that. It was funny, but yeah, I love you, Karl. You're a good friend. You've always been there for me. I hope to have many more years with you.
Enjoy the cruise. I love you. I said it all. I love you, man.
I speak the name of Jesus over you. In your hurting, in your sorrow, I will ask my God to move. I speak the name 'cause it's all that I can do.
Hey Karl, it's RJ from Alevo. Happy 50th birthday. Hope you're having a great one.
Hey Karl, how you doing? It's DJ from Alevo. I just want to say happy birthday and hope you enjoy your day celebrating you.
Hey Karl, it's Bryce from Alevo. Happy birthday.
Hi Karl, it's Megan from Alevo. I just want to say happy birthday. I hope you have a fabulous year ahead and a great, wonderful day.
Happy birthday, Karl!
Hey Karl, it's Maya from Alevo. I just wanted to say happy birthday and I hope you have the best day ever.
I speak the name of all authority, declaring blessings, every promise He is faithful to keep. I speak the name no grave could ever hold. He is greater, He is stronger, He's the God the fear inside would flee in Jesus' name.